Ladies and gentlemen, I think you're going to find this quite fascinating. Uh, this is a YouTuber, and he actually has multiple channels. He has actually at least, I would estimate, over 500,000 subscribers, over 500,000 subscribers, much more than Drew. Well, Drew, this is one of the gentlemen, and I kind of hate to say it, but I say kid because he's probably half the age of me and Drew. But he did a fantastic job of dismantling Drew, and not just dismantling Drew, but proving that Drew is the hypocrite spoken of in Scripture, and that Drew is basically the pot calling the kettle black. Everything that I've said about Drew, that he is actually just as bad for Christianity and Christians, if not worse, than ones that he calls out. People like Robin Bullock, Timothy Dixon, Amanda Grace, and this guy, like I said, this is why Drew will not debate anybody with half a brain. Because this kid, I say kid, he's a young man with a little education, completely dismantled Drew when Drew did an argument against him, did a video on him. So we're going to take just a brief snippet of this. I'll show you the very beginning. He did a couple of videos on Drew after Drew made a video on him.
Who goes by the name Drew Bloom. He's a conservative Christian who believes Trump won the election. Red flags already popping up all over the place, right? But he's one of a very small group of people who think it's blasphemous for televangelists to make Trump out to be the Messiah. He doesn't like how they're intertwining Trump and Christianity. That means he's working with us. Well, he reviewed.
The important part about that is he says he's working with us. This guy's channels are all about atheism, the importance of atheism, and the denouncement of religion. To give a little background, this gentleman, Owen Morgan, he grew up in one of these cultish religious groups, which is much like what's going on with Christian nationalism right now. Owen Morgan grew up in that, and this completely deterred him from Christianity, made him absolutely resent Christianity. But again, he points out that Drew is just as bad, if not worse, just as dangerous as Robin Bullock, Timothy Dixon, and all of these Trump prophets. And that he actually teaches he is everything wrong that is wrong with the Christian religion. And unfortunately, I have to agree with Owen. What Owen tries to emphasize in his channels is that most of these religious cultish organizations, they do not teach. Their teachings do not line up with what the Bible teaches. I will remind you that Owen grew up in a very, very religious group, and he is well studied. I've watched some of his videos. He's actually well studied on Scripture, and that's why I say he does a fantastic job of showing that Drew does not teach in alignment with the Bible. Drew's doctrine is just as false and just as poisonous as the doctrine of Robin Bullock and Timothy Dixon. The funny part about this is he had an opportunity to debate Owen. Drew had an opportunity to debate Owen, but he refused to do it because he didn't want a man, an atheist, half of his age, dismantling all of his doctrine, all of Drew's false doctrine. This was more than a year ago. More than a year ago that Drew did this. And this is when Drew had another sidekick. I forget the name of his other sidekick. Now he's got Gary for God and Alabama Woodsman. But this is the same time when this atheist dismantled and tore Drew's arguments and doctrine apart. This is when that other sidekick of Drew left and wouldn't have anything else to do with Drew, because it was a kid that was half of Drew's age completely dismantled him. And you can watch that. He made 2 videos, and you can see in the comment sections of this gentleman's pages. And again, he has over 500,000 subscribers, and Drew will not touch. He will not dare touch on this subject again. He won't point this gentleman out ever again because he did such a good job and did it so easily. Owen Morgan did it so easily, and he points out to his followers. See, Drew had approximately 17,000 followers whenever Owen did the video, but Drew gained about 4,000 atheist subscribers because this gentleman pointed out that Drew is doing just as good a job pointing out the problem with Christianity as the atheists are. So the atheists now love Drew Bloom because his rhetoric and false doctrine is just as poisonous and turning just as many people away from Christianity as Robin Bullock and Timothy Dixon and these others. It's poison. It is pure poison. It's toxic. It's unbiblical. It's satanic. Very satanic, and that's what Owen points out, that Drew does a great job all by himself helping people turn away from Christianity because his methods and ways and behaviors are actually unbiblical. And that's unfortunately why this gentleman, Owen Morgan, turned away from these religious cults and religious organizations like Christian Nationalism. And again, he points out, let me replay that. He points out that Drew Bloom is he is just one side of the same coin of Christian nationalism. He believes this whole thing that that Trump won the election and how Trump is just great, he's wonderful, and he's going to save America. Christian nationalism and Trump worship.
This is a YouTuber who goes by the name Drew Bloom. He's a conservative Christian who believes Trump won the election. Red flags already popping up all over the place, right? But he's one of a very small group of people who think it's blasphemous for televangelists to make Trump out to be the Messiah. He doesn't like how they're intertwining Trump and Christianity. That means he's working with us. Well, he reviewed one of the...
You heard it? That means he's working with us. Working with the atheist. Again, one of his other channels is the Telltale Atheist or something like that. He has like three channels and over 500,000 subscribers. And he really does a great job of pointing out that Drew is, and again, he grew up in a very religious organization, so he's very well educated on doctrine, and he points out the false doctrine that even Drew teaches, and the behaviors and the mannerisms that even ones like Drew, and you can see it in the comment sections, that people say, I dare say that Drew is even more dangerous than the Trump prophets. It's all in the comment sections. And he is. His doctrine is even more dangerous. Even more. Go check it out. And again, this is why Drew will not debate anybody with half a brain, because a kid half his age completely destroyed and dismantled him with ease, with relative ease at that. Didn't even try. Both of these videos he did on Drew, he was actually playing a video game. He was multitasking, playing a video game while at the same time dismantling Drew's argument and Drew's ways. It's just incredible. And again, this is why I point out, biblically illiterate clowns should not be in any position of teaching when their own doctrine is false and their own behaviors do not represent Christianity, because this is exactly what turned this gentleman, into an atheist. People just like Drew Bloom turned this gentleman into an atheist. The poisonous rhetoric and the hate speech and this you do it my way, you have to do it my way, you have to believe my beliefs. It doesn't matter if it lines up with Scripture. If you don't believe it and it ain't my way, then you're wrong, you're satanic. That's the behavior of Drew. And that is not Christian-like. And this is what he points out. This is what Owen points out, that is not what Jesus taught at all. It's not biblical. It's satanic. It is very satanic. Y'all be sure to know that. Spread this. God bless.